Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Mike Learns Poker. Glad you're here. I think I want to do something just a little bit different today. I was noticing, YouTube has this really cool feature where when I'm managing my channel, it'll show me what people are searching for that might be similar to what I'm doing on the channel. And one of the searches that jumped out to me was, when should I call on the river? And that's something that I think all of us could work on for sure. I call and lose a fair amount. I also find some really good calls. So I thought what we would do today is I'm going to pick 3 spots so I can filter all of my hand results, and I can look for spots where at the river I only had a pair and I called and I won, or I called and I lost. And so I think we'll just pick like 2 or 3 hands from each of those categories and see if we can figure out, okay, what are the good spots to call, what are the bad spots to call, and just kind of, instead of feeling like we're guessing in those spots, maybe at least have a little bit of thoughtfulness behind it, or a little bit more thoughtfulness behind it, and maybe get a little better at it together. So that's the plan. Um, if you haven't already, if you see something you like on here, hit like. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me. And if you haven't shared the channel already, do me a favor and share it with anybody else who might be interested. All right, let's dive in. Okay, hand number 1. I think we may have reviewed this in a different video, but that's okay. We'll do it again. Double the pain. Why not? So I remember this one fondly. So this is the final table of a $55 ACR tournament. 4 remaining. I'm second in chips. Villain in the small blind is 41. That's the chip leader. Here's me, 28. And then you got 2 stacks with less than 12. Major ICM. And I've got, it folds to me. I've got Queen Jack offsuit on the button right here. Raise. Small blind. Note here. Not many calls. Not many calls. But in this case, villain does call from the small blind. And the big blind gets out of the way. GTO Wizard Elite says, go ahead and solve this. So ICM pot is 5.5. Small blind has, I'll update this to 39 bigs. I have 25-7. Jack 9-8 rainbow. So we flop top pair with a pretty dang good kicker and a gut shot to a straight. And small blind actually can lead on this board. Look at this. That's crazy. They do not. Let me just double check that this is ICM. Okay. Wow. Was not expecting that. Okay, so they check. And now we have Queen Jack offsuit. And we're supposed to check a fair amount of this. Look at that. My thinking at the time was top pair, strong kicker, gut shot. I'm probably ahead of most of what they have. I'm thinking that they're going to call with suited aces, small and medium pairs, stuff like that. Not a lot of jacks. Maybe they could have jack 10, but I have a jack, so it's unlikely they have a jack. Anyway, I decide to bet GTO Wizard isn't going to know what to do with this. I bet a quarter pot. And then I get raised. I get raised to 5 big blinds. Pretty healthy raise. In the pot. See, they have like no raises. So I don't know what the heck's going on here. But I know I'm not folding yet. So I call. They could have some 6-7 type stuff. There's some 10x type stuff. If there's a 3 of clubs. Now they keep going. They bet 7 into 15.5. 1.4. Half pot. Could have pocket nines, could have pocket eights, could have 9-8. Yeah. I'm not loving life, that's for sure. But I can't fold. So I call. And now the river's a 5. All the straights miss. Well, 6-7 gets there. 6-7 gets there. So what are the odds that they called from the small blind with 6-7? 4 ways, major ICM. I don't know. Now they put us all in. All in. And I am in hell. And here is Queen Jack offsuit. Could call, could fold. Take your best guess. I just don't know how I find a fold here. So I called. Out in fourth. Ace Jack. I don't know what to learn there. I feel like that's just a cooler. That's a brutal, brutal, brutal spot. Maybe I got to think about it in terms of why the chip leader would want to bluff in that spot and potentially get called and give up the chip lead um, when there's 2 people with really short stacks. Maybe that should have factored into my thinking more. I don't know. I don't know. I'd love to hear if there's anybody who can actually get away from that hand. Maybe I just got too excited about potentially taking the chip lead. I would have had like 60 bigs, and everybody else would have had like sub 15. Pretty good chance I'm winning that tournament if I win this hand. So maybe that's the lesson. Is like think about why your opponent in that specific scenario would do that specific action. But I don't know. That's a tough one. All right, moving on. All right. So I think this is non-ICM, just regular old poker. And I am going to, okay, so our villain with 50 bigs decides to raise on the cutoff. And I decide just to call with about 20 big blinds on the button. Let's look at that first. We might as well learn from every action, right? I know they said this is all about the river, but that's only part of it. So King Jack offsuit call is not a big deal. We can do that. We shouldn't do anything else. So that was correct. And then we get 2 folds. Oops. And then our flop is jacking. 8. Ace 2 spades. Flop second pair. Backdoor straight draw. Okay. Our villain checks. They check about half the time, a little over half the time. Note that most of their aces bet, so they probably don't have an ace. They could have an ace. They could be sneaky with it, but they probably don't have an ace. They could have an up and down draw, king, queen, or a Broadway draw, sorry. But we block that hand. So what are we thinking? They could have some of this, but they would have bet it. Two pair, bottom pair. They could have second pair. Uh, but they probably have like middle pair, right? Second pair, third pair, middle pair, something like that. So I think we bet. I think this is a spot where we're supposed to take over the aggression and bet. Let's see. King Jack offsuit. Can bet, can check. I like a bet. Be the aggressor. I bet small. I checked. Okay. Can do either one. I think I should have bet there. They don't have an ace very often. Two of diamonds, total brick. Okay, now they're going to start betting. So they bet about half pot. We're not going anywhere. King Jack offsuit always calls. And now an ace. Okay. And in this moment, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it's possible they have an ace, but boy, they were supposed to bet an awful lot of their aces on the flop. So they could have been getting crafty here. I have 14 big blinds. The pot is 14 big blinds. And they decide to bet half pot, which is really strange. Not even half pot, like 40% pot. Can we get away from this? No. No. Must call. King Jack. King Jack. Queen Jack. Call. Do we call any eights? Probably fold a lot of eights. If we have an ace, obviously we're raising. So it's just a call. What they have? Ace eight. Full house. Woo. Okay. Well, this is actually making me feel a little better because I thought I was going to see some absolute blunders here. Just terrible calls. I probably have a bunch of terrible calls in this database, but the three randomly selected hands we just looked at, I don't see terrible decisions on the river. I see screw ups before that. And maybe that's the takeaway, or let's see how the other hand reviews go. Um, but the river decisions seem fine. All right, let's end on some good news. So we're going to pick three random hands where we won with a call where our hand was one pair or two pair. And the two pair were the board paired. So where me and villain are sharing a pair. Let's look at this one. All right. We got a raise from the button card off hijack, low jack for about 25 bigs. We cover them by a bunch. Low jack raise. That's their range. Pretty wide. We have king 10 offsuit in the small blind. I could three bet this, I bet. No, it doesn't want me to three bet. It just wants me to call. Just call. Call or fold. I called. I would consider three betting that against somebody who raises too much. And the reason I would consider it is because I block all their king X hands. So I might just get the fold right away. They may fold like small and medium offsuit aces if they're raising too much. Stuff like that. bad Broadway stuff. I'll just take it down. But anyway, big blind folds. Flop is 5-6 king. 5-6 king. I'm gonna start with a check, I think, most of the time. Yeah, 80% check. They bet tiny quarter pot. Okay, do I ever raise here? No, not really. I just call. Two hearts. I'm probably gonna just check again. They bet small. 33%. That's interesting. Their bets are primarily supposed to be, so you can see they're supposed to slow down with 60% of their hands right here. Their bets are primarily supposed to be bigger. 80+% pot, some overbets. So, pretty strange move. I'm not going anywhere with king. Yeah. And now there's 14 and a half chips, big blinds in the pot. Our friend has 18 big blinds. I have 83. Nine of clubs. Flush gets there. We do not block a flush. What I mean by that is we don't have a club. If we have a club, it's less likely they have a club, right? I check again. They probably blast it. And boy, that's a tough one. I'm surprised. I probably was just in the blender on this one, in the absolute blender. King 10, spade, heart. King 10, spade, heart. Look at this. This is a bad call. I know I won. This is a bad call. And I think the reason this is a bad call, unless I was looking at this person's stats and I saw that they bluff way too much, like that other guy that we just watched, the other villain we just watched, guy or girl. Um, Bluffing at everything, playing every hand, losing when they show down at the river. Like I don't have those stats on this villain. I have only played one hand against this person. And they have so many, not so many. They have better kings. They have flushes. Let's look at their range. I think all this stuff is clubs. So they bluff with some ace, suited ace type stuff. They blast off with all their kings. Ace king, pocket kings. Yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of bluffs here. They do have a lot of bluffs. They also have a lot of flushes, though. So I think, let's go back to king 10. So if I have, what are the characteristics of my calls? So I'm supposed to fold this combination. I should fold king, spade, diamond. Here I should be calling when I have a club. Call when I have a spade. I don't quite understand that. I understand why I would call with a club. I don't understand why I would call with a spade, with a smaller spade. Somebody's gonna have to explain that to me. Anyway, I should not have called here. But made a hero call, got away with it. They were on a straight draw. So, it's interesting. I was expecting to learn something very obvious from the losses and not learn much from the wins. And I just surprised myself. Okay, so we are in the big blind. with how many? 56 big blinds. We got a healthy stack. This is pretty early in a tournament. What is that? Under the gun one raises, right? Button, cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. Yep. Under the gun one raises off of 100 big blind stack. So let's just say we're 80 bigs deep. No, wait, 60 bigs deep. All right. Under the gun one decides to raise small. Should size up because we're playing deep stacked, but they went two big blinds. That's okay. I'm going to call with 7-5 offsuit. I should not. I can, but I'm not really supposed to against an early position raise. But I decide, what the hell, YOLO. Okay. 9, king, 7, rainbow. I'm checking the world. And they are going to bet everything, probably, or damn near everything, yeah. So they check 8% of combos, but they don't check 8% of combos. They are going to bet because that king is so good for them. And they bet fairly big. Half pot, which is fine. VTO approved. 7-5 offsuit. Just call. Yep. Two diamonds. I don't. We're not even to the river. I don't know how I called this. They must have done something really strange right here. So I'm gonna check. Now they pot it. Hmm. Just eyeballing this person's stats. They play too many hands, but their raising stats are not out of line. They three bet a little too much. Their C betting stats are in line. Are we about to go 2 for 2 on won the hand and shouldn't have called? Sure looks that way. Okay, 9 of spades. 7-5 off is supposed to just check. Oh my god. Okay, I was wondering what the weird move would be. Here it is. All in. Double the pot. Knocks me out of the tournament. They ever supposed to do that? What are their all ins? Set of sevens, set of nines. Oh no, what is that? That's quads. Trip nines. They bluff with queen jack, king, queen jack. They do it with two pair. They do it with trip nines with an ace. Bluff with ace eight. Ace king, ace queen. There's no way in hell I should have called this, right? No way in hell. Oh my god, that's so bad. What did he have? What did they have? Ace 10. Ace 10. There's no way. What am I? Jesus. Jesus. See, ace 10. It doesn't matter. They didn't do anything. I know they're supposed to check ace 10 offsuit and just give up, but there is no way I should call that bet ever. Just wanted to be a hero. Mm. This is not going the way I thought it would go. This is interesting. I don't know what I'm learning here, other than I got way too many hero calls. Maybe that's the lesson. Like, don't try to be a hero. So this hand, let's just talk this through. Under the gun one raise. They have all the big stuff. All the big stuff. Smash this board right here. King 9-7. They smash that board. They bet all their kings, all their big pairs, everything. I have third pair. Okay, I can call here. But once we get to the turn, and they're betting huge again with a ton of made hands. Like, what are you doing, man? Okay, you can call one more street here, hoping to get a lucky card. But man, that's just crazy. I can't believe I did that. All right. Let's see if we can find one where I did the correct call and won. Let's do this one because it happened yesterday. And I think this was actually a correct call, but let's find out. Okay, so we are pretty early in a tournament, and the cutoff with 60 bigs decides to raise, and I have 35 bigs. Cutoff's range, huge, 37% of hands. Jack 9 offsuit. Jack 9 offsuit is an 80% call. 100% call for me. I'm not getting too cute. Three hearts, ace clubs, 9 of spades. I check. Villain bets 2 into 5.5. Okay, here's my response. Are they bet? They're betting everything. They're betting everything. The ace is great for them. The 9 is good for them. Better for them. I don't hit a 3. I have all the middling stuff. No flush draw. No straight draw. They bet. Bet, 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 bet. Jack 9 offsuit. This is our response. Jack 9 offsuit. See all our 9s. All our 9s. Call. Call, 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 call. Call, 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 call. Raise with your best ones. Raise with 2 pair. Otherwise, call. 3 of spades. Interesting. Board pairs. Flush draw comes in. My guess is they're supposed to slow down a little bit. Looks that way. Check 40, bet 60. Oh no, that's me. That's me. I can lead here. Interesting. Jack 9 off can find some leads here. Donk bets. Huh. Art club combination. Mostly checks. I check. How much are they supposed to slow down? Okay, now, yeah, they're checking 3/4 of their hands. How much are they checking their aces? Some of their small aces they check. And then all their big aces, they're going to bet 2 pairs. Some bluffs. Oh no, that's not a bluff. King 2 is a bluff. King 3, you got trip 3s. Queen 4 is a bluff. Sort of. You have spade draws. Your bluff. Well, but they're betting hearts, clubs, diamonds at a pretty high rate. They bet half pot. Think we have to call again, but it's close. Yeah. Call or fold. I say call. Let's see what this dude's stats say. So this dude, let me enlarge this real quick. Okay, here's villain. Plays 41. Oops, let me move this. Plays 41% of hands, raises 23% of hands, raises first in third of the time, calls any raise 33% of the time, three bets 21% of the time, always C bets the flop, never folds to a flop C bet. Like, so these HUDs are set up so that I can kind of take a snapshot. Like when I'm playing, I just want like a quicker decision. Um, Plays way too many hands, bets way too much. That's the takeaway. And I think that's probably what kept me around. The river's an ace. Okay, so here, when this happens, what I'm thinking to myself is, it's pretty damn unlikely they have an ace. And maybe that's not a great heuristic, but I think it's worked for me pretty well, honestly. So let's see what this is supposed to play out like. Bear with me. Let me bring GTO Wizard up. Okay, so the ace of diamonds comes off. So we got a paired board. Yeah, they could have an ace and then they have a full house, and that sucks. Yeah, they could have a three, and that would suck too. Man, the likelihood, especially of them having a three, they don't have a lot of threes. Yeah, they could have an ace. But remember this person's characteristics are play a lot, play every hand, bet a lot. So I'm gonna check, which I'm supposed to do with 90% of my hands, so call it 100, right? And now what does our friend do? Now, so that if, yeah, they decided to bet small. 7 into 19. Which to me, like, that just feels like a dead giveaway, doesn't it? What are they supposed to do with their aces? Oops. No. Screw that up. I check. They bet. See, their bets are all supposed to be huge when they bet. All in or damn near pot. All their aces go bonkers. Do they have many threes? They don't have hardly any threes. If they have quad threes, they're going to go bonkers. And they got some bluffy stuff mixed in here. But I don't think most people are finding those bluffs. So I think that's just such a massive bet sizing tell that there's no way we can fold. And Jack 9 you can fold, but that just feels so obvious to me. 10-7. 10-7 of diamonds. Is there a universe where they're supposed to have 10-7 at a time? Yeah, they can have it. They can have it. But yeah. Okay. So this has gotten long. We're at like 40 minutes. So let's think of what our takeaways are here. I'm going to stop on that hand. I think, okay, so that's six hands. So I can't make too many assumptions about six hands, but I think I am going to make an assumption here, which that is against early position, when the board runs out where it just smashes their range, stop looking for hero calls. I think that's takeaway number one for me. Stop looking for hero calls, even if you get there sometimes. I think takeaway number two is the HUD stats that we were looking at, where it shows when people play too many hands, bet too often, just super active. It's okay to find some hero calls in those situations. Yeah, you'll be wrong sometimes, like when I got knocked out of that tournament where the villain got lucky and turned a straight. But like that's going to happen sometimes, but it's okay to find those calls. And is there another takeaway in here? I didn't see many hands where blockers were. I didn't see any hands where blockers were in play. Tell me if you disagree, but I didn't see where that was really relevant. Um, so maybe that's something that we need to study up on because I do know that like really, really good players who I watch, they talk about I unblock this, I unblock this misdraw, or I block this kind of hand. Therefore, it's more likely I'm ahead. So maybe studying up on that would be a good idea. And what else? I think the other one I've already been doing and I'm going to continue to do is when there's a big Broadway card on the board and then that card comes out again, a lot of people will think of that as a scare card. Like, oh God, they have, like in the last example, they have an ace and that's a full house. Yes, possible. But what's also possible is that they don't have that card at all. Um, so maybe, again, given the player type, they're going to recognize that as a spot where they can bluff. And if we've got something like second pair, you just have to call it off. So that's what I'm taking away from this. If you disagree, you got other takeaways. You got other heuristics you're using to make these hero calls. Definitely let me know. I want to hear what they are. All right, y'all. See you next time.